As an arranger and producer, he has too many credits to list here. He's got 2 channels on Sirius XM. 1 channel's usually sufficient for people. Not our Steve. And he got 3 now, I'm being corrected. You can't hear half the comments from back here. I, being a gentleman, I will deal with him later, in my own way and at a time of my choosing. He also got to play Jerry Vale in The Irishman. There is another role he plays that I know particularly well, and that is defender of our democracy. We all must hope he does for democracy what he has done in every other area. Am I allowed to tell one Stevie story? Fair warning, this involves a name drop. I will try to make it quick and painless. So there we are at Bruce's house, late summer, early fall 2020. I was invited there for the last day of recording of Bruce's album, Letter to You. The last note that day happened to be played by Stevie. It was a quick pickup to insert into an earlier track, and then we heard the words, "That's a wrap." It was over. It was emotional. Remember, this was at the height of COVID, so all kinds of protocols were... Oh, Mr. Mayor.
This is why I go off the cuff.
You know, most towns, I bet in Hazlitt, they have like a mic thing, so it frees up your arms. I'm up here, I'm battling the wind, the elements. I got a heckler behind me with a countdown. Came a long way this morning up at the parkway. So once we heard the words, "That's a wrap," tequila might have been poured, and tequila might have been consumed, and toasts might have been exchanged. At this point, Steve makes his way over to me and says, "Not for nothing. I apologize. I get too wound up, and if I were you, I wouldn't return my texts." I said, "What are you talking about? I haven't had a text for you for about 3 years." "Well, tell me again, what's your number?" And he's scrolling through. He'd been texting the wrong number for 3.5 years. Somebody, perhaps someone we know, perhaps a friend, family member, relative, is out there. Someone out there has the golden phone. Someone out there has the most beautifully curated collection of obscenities. Those 2-3 word combinations that only we New Jerseyans can come up with. Way beyond ouf marron. Somebody has obscenities directed at the major political figures in this country of the last several decades. Somebody's got that phone.
My good friend, wise ass Brian Williams. I never leave home without him. And I close with my only regret. My relationship with law enforcement is quite good these days. I give pretty much the biggest fundraiser for law enforcement in the country every year. And, the relationship wasn't always that good. For those of you a little bit older, you may have, recalled an altercation or two, which is why it's a damn shame that Chief Joseph McCarthy didn't live long enough to be here today. We had an interesting relationship. And it would have been just marvelous for him to have to see my name on his mail every day. Thank you very much.